All right, guys. So I work with some awesome people, and we're all at like different levels, different ages, and so I kind of liken this to like uncles and nephews, where you're probably a little less formal than you might be with your father, but you still respect somebody who's a little bit older, but you might have a little bit more banter. And I see that going on at work, and it's a pretty cool thing because what it means is men are talking, and the other part is that we can learn from both ends. So the older isn't always just teaching the younger. The older should be learning from the younger as well. And like I told one of the younger guys, this is really his day. My day has come and gone. I'm not in my prime. So it's for me to be able to learn from what's going on today. Now, where I'm going with that is you can't always have what I'm seeing with some of the older guys are trying to tell the younger guys what to do, and the younger guys are saying, well, I got to go through my own process. And he's absolutely right. So where I'm going with this is when people are on their journey, rather than guiding them, sometimes we just have to support them. And the difference is when you're guiding people, you're trying to absolutely navigate almost for them, and you can't control their circumstances. We don't know everything about somebody's circumstance to give them the spot on advice, and are they even prepared to receive it and execute it in their best benefit? So we have to just support it and support what's going on, and then be able to support it through the guidance by saying, well, when this happened to me, or if I were you, this might be what I would do. But we can't necessarily say you have to do this is, or you're going to end up in such and such circumstance, because it's not always true. It might have been true for what we went through, but that's anecdotal. And even though we can't always speak in generalities when it comes to that, because we are talking to a specific person about their specific situation, we can still slow it down and be able to just say, you know what I might impart is, rather than you need to do this. Because yes, while some things do have a sense of urgency and we really do need to put them out there and say, hey man, you might be making a huge mistake, the best that we can do is really just support somebody and say, I probably wouldn't do that. If you want to minimize the damage that you're going to receive possibly going down this road, you might not want to do that. But to try to tell somebody, you're immediately giving direction, control vibes. And a lot of times people are immediately going to push back, and that's what you do when you're young. So the young guy, he's a smart kid. He knows what he wants to do in life. He's not on his purpose, but he knows that what he's doing is building blocks. And for the other person, he means well. And when you mean well, that's a good place to be. But sometimes the best thing that you can do when you're giving advice is live it so people can see it. And then they can say, okay, I can be inspired and follow that model. But if you're just telling people, but you're not moving in synchronicity with your words, then a lot of times people may give you, the old side eye and say, I'm not sure. So even though you mean well, sometimes people are going to consider the source in which it's coming from. So just build yourself up and let other people see it as well. And then your words don't have to weigh as heavy. They don't have to have such a sense of urgency when you are casually moving about your business. So what are your thoughts on this? I would love to hear from you guys. Ace up the sleeve, advice, comment, experience on talking to sometimes younger people. And by younger, it doesn't mean that you're talking to the youth. It could just be if you are in your 40s, you're talking to somebody in their 30s. If you're in your 30s, talking to somebody in their 20s, so forth and so on. So it doesn't have to be like these huge gaps of time, like where it's the old person. My lights went out, but this lighting is cool too. It doesn't have to mean that it's these massive gaps in time. So hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully you guys can impart some of your wisdom. What did you think of when you were receiving it as a young person? And what did you think when you were trying to give it, and how was it received as you matured and you were a little bit older? I know when I was younger, there was a lot of things that just went right over my head or through the hole in it because I wasn't hearing it. And, life doesn't really, prepare you for the lessons until they are taught. And then that's when you have those aha moments. That's what they were trying to tell me. And that's okay too. That's why the support is very important, because when people do fail first attempt in learning, then you are there to help support them back up and show them, okay, this might be a better way to do something. So it's a great place to be, and we all can teach and we all can learn. So again, please subscribe to the channel. Send people here who you might believe need to hear this or would just enjoy the content. And as always, I hope this finds everybody in a place, pursuit, or beginnings on your journey of total health, mind, body, and soul. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.